Good day and welcome to News Flash on Fides Television. I am Dennis Joy and we are excited to bring you the latest news highlights from the Fides Newspaper. Stay with us as we dive into the stories for the week. After the short break, we'll be right back. Glad to have you back. Let's move on to the stories making headlines this week. Pay us our 900 million gas money. Contractors besiege Soludo. A group of contractors in Anambra State who supplied gas for use in generators for powering street lights across the state last Monday staged a peaceful protest to the government house, Awka. Their protest was over the alleged refusal of the state government to pay outstanding debts amounting to about 900 million for diesel supplied in March and April of 2022. The contractors who converged on the government house in Awka accused the government of making selective payments, alleging that while a few contractors had been settled, many others were being unfairly sidelined without any explanation. Another major story on the front page reads, "We are sorry, Soludo tells family of man brutalized by tax agent leading to his death." The Anambra State government has condoled with the family of the late Mr. Okechukwu Akaneme, a former chairman of Onitsha Federated Chapel of NUJ Anambra Council, who died a week ago. Akaneme, who was also a former president of Onitsha Chamber of Commerce, was said to have sustained a spinal cord injury early this year when he was said to have been brutalized by some tax agents working for the Anambra State government. This story is continued on page 5 of the Fides Newspaper. Awka Catholic Diocese holds 2-day seminar for marriage instructors. The Catholic Diocese of Awka, through the Family and Human Life Unit, FHLU, of the diocese, held a 2-day marriage instructor seminar with the theme Marriage, Loving Partnership of a Man and a Woman for Life. The seminar, which was held 11th and 12th of July 2025, witnessed the presence of many resource persons who delivered insightful topics and participants from all the parishes in the Catholic Diocese of Awka. Details of this news can be found on page 7 of the Fides Newspaper. Waste disposal. Take responsibility to help us serve you better. Aswama boss begs Ikoka traders. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Anambra State Waste Management Agency, ASWAMA, Mr. Mike Ozoemena, has appealed to the traders at Ikoka Market to take responsibility of the environment so as to help the agency carry out its duty in the market better. The Managing Director made the appeal on Thursday, July 10, while speaking with the press in his office about the worrisome volume of waste that usually litters the Otto Eze Avenue axis of the market. Mr. Ozoemena, who expressed satisfaction with the service of his agency in the market, attributed the worrisome volume of waste usually seen on the road mostly every morning to the quantum of activities going on in the market. Still on the same page, gunmen shoot trader in Oko community. Police reiterate commitments to security. Let's look further into the story. Gunmen operating in Oko community in Orumba North local government area of Anambra State, July 9, shot a trader in a shop. A source said the trader, who operates a provision shop with his wife, was in a shop opposite the Federal Polytechnic Oko at about 9 p.m. when the rampaging men arrived and shot him. These stories and more can be found on page 6 of the Fides Newspaper. EDC MasterCard Foundation Old Entrepreneurship Program for Female Co-Members. Let's look into the story. Enterprise Development Center, EDC, Pan-Atlantic University, in partnership with MasterCard Foundation, has held a 3-day entrepreneurship program for female co-members in selected states, including Anambra. The program in Anambra State took place at the National Youth Service Corps Permanent Orientation Camp in Umuawulu, Anambra State, with 147 female co-members in attendance. The topics ranged from growth plan development, legal and regulatory aspects of setting up a business in Nigeria, and customer service management. You can head over to page 5 of the Fides Newspaper for details of this news. More on religious matters. Live a life of love for others, Bishop Eze Okafor urges Awka Catholic faithful. It was celebration galore in Awka, the Anambra State, as parishioners and friends of St. Peter Catholic Church, Nkwele, Awka, gathered to receive the Catholic Bishop of Awka Diocese, Most Reverend Paulinus Eze Okafor, who was on an episcopal visit to the parish. The event, which took place on Sunday, 13th July 2025, attracted religious men and top government officials, among whom were the Chancellor of the Diocese, Reverend Father Charles Undubisi, and the Executive Chairman, Awka South Local Government Area, Honorable Prince Chinedu Okafor. In a homily during a holy mass to mark the event, the Catholic bishop, whose message hinged on love for others, admonished St. Peter's parishioners to strive to love every human being as they love themselves for them to make heaven. Page 9 of the Fides newspaper has details of this news. And on page 11, Anambra 2025, Dawn of a New Era beckons. Now to our editorial segment, Death of Citizen Akaneme in Hands of Government Agents, an outrage long condoned. Let's have a glimpse of our editorial. Sad news filtered in late the previous week about the death of a former president of Onitsha Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Honorable Oke Akaneme. He was said to have died from injuries sustained during a violent revenue enforcement operation by agents of the Anambra State Waste Management Authority, ASWAMA, last year in Onitsha. You can get details of our editorial on page 3 of the Fides newspaper. And that's all for this week's News Flash. Thank you for tuning in. To stay up to date on the latest news, follow us on all our social media platforms. And do not forget to get a copy of the Fides newspaper this week for in-depth news information. I am Dennis Joyce signing off. Until next time, good evening.